Hey Krafty Friends, this is Jen from Katahdin Crafts and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am up on the Hedgehog blog with this cute little bookmark. The stamps that I used for this bookmark are found in the January subscription box, which is full of lots and lots of lovely book and reading themed items or stamps. So starting this project, the first thing I did was select my stamp, which is from the Coffee and Book set. And I love these two rectangle stamps that are perfect for bookmarks. And I just line this up with the grid of my Misty. I used that bottom grid. I removed my foam pad and used the bottom grid for exact placement. And then I went ahead and put my foam back in, which I have double-sided tape on the bottom of that so it doesn't slide. Then I added my Copic friendly paper. And I'm using Lawn Fawn's jet black ink to stamp my images today. Now I'm just making sure that I had enough space around that because I wasn't sure at this point how I was going to cut that out. And now I'm looking through these really cool sentiments and I select so many books, so little time. I thought that that would work nicely on a bookmark. And I added this to the top of my rectangle. And I just center it right there and butt it right against the edge. So it looks pretty seamless and it looks like it's one stamp. And now because these are new stamps to me, I want to take a little bit of that tackiness off. So I just rub my fingers and my palm along that, and that helps just take off a little of that tackiness. And I just give it a good one over. And now I'm just going to ink that up with the jet black ink. And the reason why I love the Misty is because I am not very good about ever getting it on the first try. And then with the Misty, you can try several times, especially when something is this detailed. I kind of missed that middle, as you can see. So it was so easy to go back and really ink that well in the middle and then press down. And I'm just using a microfiber rag or cloth in order to push that down, just help me. And once I was satisfied and had my image the way I wanted it, nice and crisp, I went ahead and my Pinkfresh Studio Slim Ornate banner dies, and I wasn't really sure which one would fit perfectly on this. I wanted the small one with that little bit of a border that had a bunch of dots and pretty stuff on it, but that wasn't going to fit quite well enough. It was a little bit too small. So I went ahead with that middle one, but in order to cut out the whole bookmark, I used Lawn Fawn's large Slimline with sliders die, the middle part of that, the smaller frame, and it has some nice stitching on the edges. So I just went ahead and tacked that down with some purple tape, and then when I was running things through my die cut machine, I cut out one of the Pinkfresh Studio dies, that middle one that I liked, in craft cardstock. And then I wanted that ornate top to match. So I used the same die and just cut the top edge off of the already cut bookmark panel. So you can see I just lined that up so it was in the middle and it doesn't bother any of the other part of the panel because it's larger. And now I can have that same ornate top to both panels. And I really, really like that look. It's like a tag look on the bottom. And it's nice and feminine because I am giving it to my daughter who is an adamant reader. So I think that that fits perfectly. So here's a little tip that I have for you. When I go to like a craft sale or a park sale and they have some fashion, like costume jewelry or just some old pieces that are relatively inexpensive, I kind of collect those sometimes. And then you can cut off the backs and you can use it either in scrapbooking or card making. And I thought that this was a perfect fit. And I was having a hard time actually selecting which one because they're all very fitting, I find, for this type of project. But I selected this little cute peach one and I just went ahead and cut off the back of that earring. And that is going to be my little dangle. But first I'm going to color it up, and I apologize for missing some of my coloring today. I do have it all written out on my blog and on the Hedgehog Hollow's blog. The silly thing I did was I had my grocery list on the side. I was working on my grocery list in my head and wrote it out, and I had it in the video. And I didn't think everybody needed to see, what I needed at the grocery store. So I took that part out, and once I realized it, then yeah, here's where I was. So I will have all of those colors listed. And as you can see from here on out, I do have those marker caps on the screen for you. And so I was trying to match some colors with that jewel that I selected. That's why I went ahead and selected that first so I would know what colors I wanted to add. So I added that peach into the teacup. My daughter doesn't drink coffee, so she's a tea person. And so I wanted that to be kind of matching with her. So I'm adding that, the peach color, and then a little cream color. And then the books, I wanted them to look a little weathered. So I used E41, 42, and 43 for the insides. And then I wanted to look like classic kind of old brown leathery books as a whole. I was going for the kind of like that vintage look because I also thought that that jewelry piece that I picked looked quite vintage. I did make a pattern with those E colors, with my book colors, all the way down the line of books. So you can see those I have flipped up for you. And then I go ahead and repeat. I believe that that was my last one, and then I start from the top. And I wanted a soft blue that kind of coordinated still, like a complementary color to the peaches. So that's why I selected that B91 for that soft blue. And now to offset so it's not so stark white, along the edges, I used my finger dauber and chipped Sapphire oxide inks, and I just brushed a little bit of that around the edge. And I also was going to select that twine that I have on my desk, which has a darker blue. So this also pulls in that darker blue. And then again, for the vintage look, I used a vintage photo oxide ink to go around the edge of the bookmark base. And I just wanted to add a little bit of that vintage color along the edge of the bookmark as well. So just tone down that chipped sapphire a little bit and added a little bit of that vintage look. And now it's time to just adhere that panel to the card base or to the bookmark base. You could actually do this in a card. I could have done a separate card and slid that in, and that would have been a nice little gift or a birthday present for my daughter or somebody else that you know that's a good reader or likes to read, enjoys it. And now, because I wanted a little pressure on that, I went ahead and added my acrylic block, my largest one. I do that quite often just to help something in place. And now I'm just taking some jute and some twine and threading that in. This piece that I also selected, I made sure that it had a hole in it so I was able to do this. And I just doubled that up, and then I knotted it in the back. I knotted it twice actually, just for safety measures. And that was super easy. And now I've got my little dangle. And now I wanted to add an eyelet. And it's been, I don't use eyelets as often. And that first hole was a little small, so I had to just widen it. And then I added my eyelet. And this one didn't really need a setter. You just popped it on, and I just banged it in there a couple times, and now it's set. And now I'm just going to take that same jute and twine and thread it through the eyelet. And then once I like the length, I'm going to go ahead and tie another knot on that end. And then I have my little bookmark ornate dangle. And my daughter has already seen this, and she already said, "Can I have it?" Which I had her in mind when I was making it. So that worked out perfect. And then I received this beautiful decorated book from my sister-in-law for Christmas, and it was close by, so I thought that this would be a great way to just test out the bookmark. There you go. A cute little bookmark with a dangle. So I hope that everybody enjoyed this project and loves the new January subscription box. Like I said, it is chock full of lots of goodies for readers. And yeah, a lot of coffee lovers too. So go ahead and check that out on the Hedgehog Hollow blog, and check out my post too that has all those markers from when I had my grocery list on there. I appreciate everybody stopping in and visiting with me today. I hope you had a happy holiday season, and I will see you very soon for another video and another project with Hedgehog Hollow. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I'd really appreciate your support. Like and comment. I always love to hear from you. Thank you so much, and I will see you again soon. Happy crafting!